So it seems like my idea is evolving, and with it, my pitch. So that's gonna have to, come later, and we'll see what it turns into once the idea kind of solidifies more. But um, whereas before, originally my idea was to do a Common Sense Part Two, which was a fresh take on the original that was done in the 1700s and it led to the American Revolution. But mine would hopefully lead to the American evolution. Um, for context, back then there was a tyranny coming from one person, and so it was easy to establish a common sense because an entire populace was experiencing the oppression coming from one source, and there was basically like no little or no support for that person. But what I'm seeing now and how a second one or a part two would apply would be not only to utilize today's technology and put it in the form of a course and possibly make it interactive, but also consider the new land that is being declared for independence. And whereas back then the tyrant or the enemy was physical, this one appears a little bit maybe metaphysical in that the land that's being claimed here is the mind, is like a brain estate that we have to reclaim. Because as sophisticated as all marketing is getting for like I don't know, implanting ideas into the subconscious. Um, these ideas are like accumulating more and more, and we see that it's quite apparent just utilizing Facebook and how the feed runs away with our attention. Um, so over time, the habit of experiencing this is conditioning us, but that's just one of many examples of what's going on and how we're bombarded. And so to have a second common sense and make it relevant for today's time would have to be declaring independence of our own mind. And in that way, it's like a feminist uprising. And this is why we have Lady Liberty as standing for freedom. It's because it is the feminine that does this. It's the feminine that gives birth to life, nurtures it, and helps it contribute responsibly to society, just as collectively as Americans, we want to give birth to our own original idea, nurture it, and have it do the same. So this is part of the process of establishing a new common sense. It's not viewing things as on the surface and through shallow labels, but being able to recognize the essence or the principle, and in that way, that's where we get empowered. That's where we can create a movement or have an idea actually contribute in a large scale and not trick ourselves by only having it contribute to the small segment at the expense of the larger. So, yeah, I'm just trying to follow where this idea is going, and I think it's pretty interesting. But let me know what you think or like your feedback. Thanks, guys.